Okay. Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to be doing another evolution video, and I've been wanting to make this video for like so long. I just didn't have the energy till now to actually do it. Also, I'm out of ideas, so this is it. I'm gonna be doing an evolution of the Disney princess branding, so pray for me while editing this video. It's gonna be so much visual thingy. I have my notes too with some visuals too to help me talk about it. So if you like any Disney princess or Disney content in general, you're in the right channel. I have so many Disney content on my channel. Please make sure you subscribe and like. I have like tons of videos, especially princesses. Oh my goodness. So I've been wanting to do a Disney princess branding evolution. We're gonna talk about the branding of the princesses, how it all started, and where it is today. The main focus is like, it all started with like they should not be interacting with each other, till now they're like interacting with each other. What changed? I think everybody knows the answer. So yeah, and also the changing of the logo as well. I don't like the new logo now. I like how it was back then. Till now it's just like not really, still princessy but not really princessy. So how we're gonna start this video is, let's talk about the history of the Disney princess brand. This is one of the biggest Disney franchises, and without this franchise there would not be no respect on the classic prince, like especially Snow White, Cinderella, and Aurora, aka Sleeping Beauty. Like without that franchise they wouldn't get their flowers. So that's what I'm trying to say, even though some of them are very underrated, but that's a different video. If you're interested for that video, I would love to make it. So anyway, so how did this princess branding all started? So it all started back in the early 2000s, like close to like the late 90s. And again, during the late 90s there were hints or like experimental with when Mattel, especially when they had Disney princess branding, I mean the licensing over Disney, how like they try to put all the princesses together, and they didn't label Disney, but just put princess like as a label, like not officially called Disney, but just more like princess or princess classic label in the lane. So they're kind of like hint about it. It didn't became tuition until the early 2000s. Thanks to this guy, it all started with Andy from not from Toy Story, but Andy, who is, I don't know if he still is a Disney consumer product, but he was back in the day. I don't know if he's still now, but thanks to him, he's the one that started this idea of wanting to do this Disney princess franchise, which is a great idea, because it all started with him infamously going to a Disney on Ice show. They've been doing it for so long, and he noticed that all the little girls have been wearing Disney princess dresses, but they're wearing non-Disney licensed princesses, and she was like, oh, that's just a missed opportunity for business for us to make like official Disney princess costume. So that's how the Disney princess franchise came to be, when he saw little girls wearing non-licensed Disney princess dresses. So that's how I got the idea. And again, when the lineup was made, there wasn't like official requirement. This was just all like fan speculation. Like Disney didn't even announce like or give like rules. I'm gonna go through a little bit what the rules are. I mean, if you've seen a lot, there's tons of videos about the princesses. Here's like a little basic. In order to be part of the lineup, you have to be, of course, being born royal and married to royal. You have to be a human, cannot be an animal. That's why Nada's not in the princess. And the new one they've been added is heroic act, which is kind of debatable in the princess or Disney community, because that's how Mulan was part of this franchise because of that. And of course, this is another debatable thing, successful box office. It's a bit debatable with some of the princesses that didn't have proper box office numbers, but then they fit well with the branding. So those are the four basics as to how are they included with the lineup. So I'm gonna put like a graphic of the logo back in the day. As you can see right now, we're gonna be focusing on the beginnings of it, and this is the logo that I grew up when I was young. It's the 2020, like that Disney princess logo on the top right. Yeah, you can see it in the video, and also the one at the bottom too. And so boom, this is the original lineup. This three gorgeous girly that been everywhere. It's Jasmine, Snow White, Cinderella, Aurora, Ariel, and Belle. Those are the three. But then people forget that actually Mulan and Pocahontas are also part of this 8 lineup. It's just that at that time they were excluding because they weren't really princessy enough, even though like, they are. Sometimes Mulan is included, as you can see with this promotional art in the mid 2000s, Mulan over here, but usually it's always these 3 princesses. During the beginning of the thing, they kind of experimental with like some Disney characters. One of them is of course Esmeralda, but like her movie's not really successful. She doesn't fit with the branding, and also like her movie's pretty dark, so so that's why she wasn't in the lineup. Tinkerbell, I remember Tinkerbell was kind of considerate, but then she had her own franchise because she's a fairy, not a princess. And then Alice is an interesting one. Alice was almost in the lineup, but then didn't, because again, just didn't fit in marketing. So that's where those all the 8 princesses that went the original lineup, but technically it's the 6. So right now we're focusing on the origin era. This is the origin early 2000s. As you can see, what's interesting about this era is that especially we see like the marketing and the branding is how they promoted Disney princesses as like girly, like very girly stuff, because early 2000s it's so huge for like girly content, especially at Barbie, Brat, and like the Disney princess. There's so many like Disney princess content. Unfortunately, there wasn't any new Disney princess until later, which we'll get into, but like there was Disney wasn't making any princess movie. They produced so many Disney princess content that's very like girly. It's very much like something princess with like tea parties, happily ever after. It's all pink. It's all like just them in a ball gown and like everything. It's just very girly, which is very controversial and debatable as the years went on with the problematic stuff how Disney princess is teaching the little girls. At that time, they're teaching little girls like, hey, it's cool to be a princess. You can have tea parties, dress up, and like pretty balls and gown, like, you know. So before the change up happened, I remember 2008, 2009, they did this golden era. I put this picture, this iconic golden era. So they did this golden era before Tiana came into the picture. So this was 2008, 2009. I remember they tried to do this infamous Enchanted Tales, but that didn't came to fruition, which is unfortunate. That should have been like a series. I think it didn't really do well with DVD sales at that time, because early 2000s there were so many like Disney DVDs or homemade videos, but like such a missed opportunity. Like that was a great experimental era with the golden thing before they do a whole bunch of revamp after that. So in 2009, see, this is another example how it was before. They do tea parties and like the princess kind of look at each other. And what's interesting around that time, which I'm going to mention, is how like the Disney executives were concerned, like they don't want people to be confused, like why is like Snow White or Aurora interacting with each other, because their timeline of the movie makes no sense. So that's why in the earlier work you don't really see them interact, especially make any eye contact with each other. I mean, there's some like media back in the day that we can kind of see them interact, but overall most of the promotional images are them not looking at each other because they don't want to break the illusions of them being familiar with their surroundings. Like they're familiar that they're the same branding, but they're just two different, you know, two different worlds, if you know what I mean. So yeah, they don't want to break the illusion. They don't want to confuse children as to like why they don't know each other at that time. So that's why you don't really see them interacting with each other. Especially, it'll change as we go on. So right now we're moving to the new arrival princess era, which is 2009, 2011. We have not Snow White, Tiana, the first black princess, and Rapunzel. We have Rapunzel and Tiana. And around this time, the Disney princess was kind of like changing a little bit. With their marketing, they're starting to turn into a little bit like modern. It's still a very princessy with the crown, but it's slowly becoming like very model. I think around that time around that time, they kind of dressed the princesses like in their, I would call it like Renaissance-ish outfits with their respective like time period piece, which I really enjoy, especially like Snow White and stuff, and like a bunch of princesses. That's how they were marketed at that time. And then with the arrival of Rapunzel and Tiana, they're like our new modern age princesses. So that really changed the conversation about like, what is the princesses? Like right now they don't portray the princesses as damsel in distress anymore. They still kind of do. Like, look at this picture where like, we'll get into Merida. That's how everything changed, but Queen Merida just doesn't look right. Like Time to Cook, you see the princesses learning how to teach kids how to cook, but Merida's right there. It's just very like bizarre. So everything changed once we move on to the late 2010s with the 3D princess coming into the picture, and that is the whole controversial with Merida being the first and only Pixar character being part of the princess franchise. I remember when when they released the princess look of Merida, that was a whole controversial with the interwebs. People were complaining about like how she's too pretty. Like Merida would not even like this. She's not supposed to be, look, you could see like the Pixar version and versus like Disney princess version. They were complaining how like she looks too pretty. Like she's not, that's the point of her movie. She's not supposed to be like a typical princess. She's supposed to be like fresh, no makeup, not so pretty. So they kind of changed her how she is now with this next picture. So when Merida came in, because we're leading it towards like the mid 2010s, so around that time, especially with how society was now, you're trying to make the princesses more like modern feminists, especially with all the backlash they receive with how the princesses are teaching little girls like outdated stereotypes. So now they try to make the princess do like activewear, which we're leading in towards the modern era, which ran until the pandemic, almost the pandemic era. So this was the modern era. And when you see this modern era, now the princesses are kind of seen doing active stuff. You could see Belle riding a horse, you can see Rapunzel painting, you can see like Snow White or Tiana cooking, instead of them doing princessy stuff anymore. Like they're doing like activewear just to show like princesses are very active. And they also, and you start to see a little bit more them adding Mulan and Pocahontas. This all changed once Hasbro took the licensing of Disney, especially around that time, and they made them a little bit more cartoony. Like they're still pretty, but very cartoony, not like a typical Barbie Disney princess how they were portrayed in the early 2000s. And also Frozen too. Frozen was included too, but Frozen wasn't part of this lineup because like they were too popular. If Frozen was okay hit, then they would have been added with this lineup, but Frozen wasn't. I think the Frozen inspo also kind of changed how they were seeing princesses. As you can see with this merchandising image over here, you can see they are all doing active stuff. Like when they tell their story, like Ariel swimming, chasing for her dreams, and Belle is like exploring, not like looking for a man. Like you can see around this time they're becoming more, a little bit more modern, like modern princesses to fit in with the new audience, especially with this like comic stripes over here. Like you see them being super active, so it fits with all of them, especially with the modern princesses. That's how everything changed once like 2014, 2018. And you can see with the logo a little bit, it's kind of changing. They make it, it's like a mix between like it's still the old modern, but like they're making it still princessy but very modern a little bit. And this everything changed with interaction once. I call this the Merv interaction era, which we still are right now, because it all happened, it all changed once Disney made a little movie called Ralph Breaks the Internet, where the iconic scene where you see in the first time in forever all the princesses interacting with each other. So they don't do the evolution of where like they are not aware with each other anymore, because that movie kind of broke the evolution. They kind of make fun of themselves. And they also changed their princess gowns into comfy outfits, which I like. So as you can see with this images over here and merch. So I feel like the Ralph Breaks the Internet era kind of starts them interacting with each other. And so after that movie came out and the hype with them interacting with each other, you can slowly see them trying to include them in their marketing. So especially right now in the modern era, I don't like how the new logo, I like the new logo started to change. They make it more like a simple. That's how it was like Ultimate Princess Celebration. This is how the logo is now. It's not really, it doesn't look really princessy anymore except for the crown. I just don't like the printing of it. I prefer like the old one that it was before, not now. But I love this new artwork that they've been releasing so far. I love seeing, so I can see all the princesses are all interacting with each other, which is very like unexplainable back in the early 2000s. Now they're like really interacting with each other. Like you can see them hugging each other, like they're aware of their space, marketing skill. And then of course Moana was also added unofficial listening with Raya around this era, where you see all the princesses interacting with each other. And Raya was a little bit different. Raya was like kind of sitting with Pocahontas, where like she is a princess in her movie but not officially, but they just added her quietly. Not everybody knows about it. So now the arts of the princess branding is like they go back and forth between like 2D but a little bit of like 3D animation, but like you can see a little bit of like 2D as you can see. And I like how right now we're kind of going back with them just being princesses a little bit, not so much with too modern as like being like super feminine with them, how they were in the late 2010s. And I like how again they're making the princess more diverse, especially thanks to the modern era once Hasbro took over with the princess branding. I like how when you see like I love how you can see Tiana a lot. You can especially see Moana a lot. Moana is like very popular in the princess lineup. It's not just like a typical, I mean you still see a typical like the white princesses of course, but you see more of the modern, like the diverse princess integrating in the new princess lineup. So yeah, and with the interaction of the Lego special that they released with them interacting with each other. And so that's where we are right now. We are seeing them hopefully interacting with each other. I hope this convinced Disney that we want to see like a more project with them, hopefully more princesses in the future, more different ones. But yeah, we came a long way, so that is where we are right now. So thank you guys so much for watching this quick and short, we'll see how this goes, Disney Princess Evolution videos of the branding. Let me know which one is your favorite era, and like what's the thing that you miss and what's the thing that you like with this new changes and stuff. I love the new, I like to see them, they're not just like damsel in distress, not all of them are, they're very like active and stuff. And well, what do you want the princess to do in their next lineup, in their new like branding rechange and stuff, especially with the franchises? And thanks to the princess, they spawn a whole new other franchise. Like thanks to the success of the princesses, we have the Disney villains era, the Disney fairies, a bunch of other Disney franchises and stuff. So yeah, and the Frozen 2, and now Encanto. So yeah, let me know comments below, what do you think? Do you think Asha will be included with this lineup in the future? Probably, maybe. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this fun educational video, I hope. I don't know. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all on the next Disney video. Okay, bye! Hey, true stager. I am wearing a Disney t-shirt, as you can see. Okay, goodbye! Mwah. Poof. We did it. The elephant in the room that really wanted me to make this video is Mulan's outfit! Oh my god! Oh, wait, that's it? Okay.